I'm Charles Trammell Wofford II. Everybody calls me CT. That's what my mother called me back in the day, and it stuck.
That's because his grandfather was named Charles also. Too many Charles. I'm Shirley Wofford.
I'm from a little community outside of Mount Pleasant, Texas, a little farming community, about 15 miles out of town.
Now, from the same community. We went to elementary school there.
Oh, I can't say we didn't really meet. I mean, she was kind of always there for a long time anyway. I think y'all moved in our community when you were in the 3rd grade. I was in the 5th grade.
He was in the 5th, so we kind of grew up together.
Yeah, she had a older sister that was in the same grade as me. So we actually didn't meet, but
just kind of osmosed
yeah, it's kind of
to the point where we were dating.
Yeah.
Well, I was still in high school when he went to school, so we were engaged when I was junior. So whenever I graduated from high school, I worked a year and then we got married, so I didn't go into school. I worked to help support him get through school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, growing up, my parents were very adamant that we go to college. I thought that was the way to get a better way of life. So it wasn't a question of were you going to go to college or not, which was the question in that community. But a lot of kids, most of them didn't go to college actually. But anyway, were you going to go to school? So I applied to University of Texas, Texas A&M, and Baylor, and I was accepted to all 3. But there was some kind of a fad, you might say, in school at that time for a lot of the guys that went to A&M. So I thought, yeah, that sounds like a pretty good deal. In fact, I wanted to be a veterinarian anyway. So well, that'd be give me more opportunities if I go to school there. So
one of the reasons you wanted to be a veterinarian is because veterinarians would come out to their farm, and he just thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, I just saw this ride around the truck all day, doctor animals, that sort of thing. It was so romantic to me that I thought that was great.
Unrealistic.
I thought that was great. So it was kind of that way actually in practice, though. It was pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so A&M at the time had just become, in fact, I was a 2nd class that was not required to go into the Corps. We weren't required to go. The class before me and my class. All the ones prior to that, since 1876, were required to be in the Corps at least the first couple of years. So also my friends at high school had talked about going into the Corps too, and they had brothers that had been there and so forth. So I thought, yeah, I kind of want to do that. So again, that was a little bit of a shock to me as it turned out. It is more than I expected. It was kind of like being in boot camp and going to school at the same time. It was pretty rugged.
Intense.
Yeah, it was pretty rugged. It was, yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, as he came home from school for a holiday, and he was so thin because of not being able to eat good and everything that his mom was really upset.
Oh, my mom. She was she was
not
livid.
Ready to pull him out.
She was livid. I mean, I went into the Corps. I was 155 pounds, 6 foot tall, 155 pounds. I wasn't very heavy weight at that point in time. I came back and I'd lost 10 pounds at the Thanksgiving. And she thought that was not going to work. So she was going to call the commandant of the Corps. But I convinced her not to. And she started sending me these care packages in the mail. I would get these boxes of cookies and all kinds of treats. She was trying to fatten me up as I went along there. Yeah, going to the Army. So being in the Corps, you were in the ROTC, and after the first couple of years, you make a decision if you want to stay in ROTC and become an officer. That time at the Vietnam War was raging, and I thought it would be better to stay in and become an officer. I would have more options, if you will. And so I did. So by the time I graduated, the Vietnam War was winding down. So I was in the Army for a couple of years. I went in the Medical Service Corps, which is it's kind of a support group for the medical field. I was a disc jockey, if you will. I was a company commander for a year and a half as a first lieutenant, and I went into the Medical Service Corps because I wanted to be a helicopter pilot, a medevac pilot at one point. But then I decided, I don't think I do, because the war was winding down, but they were still sending pilots over to Vietnam. I could see that Vietnam war was pretty much a lost cause at that point. So I decided I didn't want to really go there, and so I turned down the helicopter pilot part and just became an officer in the Medical Service Corps. Let me start out on the vet school thing. I'd already applied to vet school a couple of times and been rejected, and so
just one time. But
one time. Okay, maybe one time. Okay. Anyway, I'd been rejected, and so the university sent the letter, my acceptance letter, to my home address. Since I was in the service, I didn't have that was my home address. So they sent the letter to my mother. Actually, she opened it up, she read it, and she called me and said, well, we got this letter, and it said you've been accepted to vet school. And I thought, really? I don't know if that's true or not. I thought, are you sure that's what it said? It doesn't say you were not accepted, does it? Because the other letter said exactly the same thing, but it had not in there instead. She said, yes, you were accepted. So we were really happy about that.
Oh my, yes.
My brother lived near here, Midlothian, and he went to church here actually, and he said, hey, there's a small town south of Dallas that doesn't have a veterinarian, and why don't you think about coming over and working or opening up a practice here? And I thought, okay, I'll take a look at it. And we came here and looked around and thought, this looks like a good opportunity. So
we started the practice in 1978. We had a lot of long hours. Since he was on call, he was the only doctor in the practice. I was his assistant and the business manager. So we did large animal. And
did large animal, small animal, what we call a mixed practice, where we did a little bit of everything. We hardly turned down anything, really. Even worked on
we saw a snake.
Yeah, I saw a snake. I patched up a turtle with a broken shell one time. I had a cougar that came in that was almost comatose that I'd worked on one time. I mean, we did it all pretty much. It wasn't when you're starting out. There's you have this feeling that you should do all you can do to be successful. I quit doing farm animals and I was just doing horses and small animal, and then eventually I quit doing horses too. It's kind of like the town evolved as we went along here. We started out rural, it became more suburban, and so we kind of evolved with the town also. So that's how that worked.
At the time that we were practicing, we were the only veterinary clinic in town. Now there are 4 clinics and 1 emergency clinic, so you can see how much the town has grown.
Mm-hmm.
But during that time, our kids were in sports and band and dancing, so it was wild trying to just keep up with everything.
Trying to go to things, and already kind of stretched thin, but we loved it. We did.
I think that's about it. Bye.
Well, bye.
Well, bye.
Thank you.
Oh, it's been a adventure. It's been a great life, really.
Yeah, really.